Now we are summarizing all the components we have discussed. We've discussed current output, expected future output, wealth, expected real interest rate, government purchases, taxes, right? These are the determinants of national saving, which cause national saving to rise or fall respectively because of certain reasons. Let's suppose we're discussing current account, it will rise because the part of extra income is saved to provide for future consumption. If expected real interest rate rise, it will uh, cause national savings probably to rise because an increased return makes saving more attractive, probably outweighing the fact that less must be saved to reach a specific saving targets. Uh, Different condition could be given to you in exams where you have to identify which effect cause national saving rise or fall, and you have to define the reasons why the national saving rise and fall. An increase in the government purchases will cause national saving to fall because it's directly lower the desired national saving. Uh, okay, and taxes, there could be effect of regarding equivalence proposition, or because of this there could be no change in national saving, or it can be rise if people ignored it. The tax cut, which we already discussed. Now uh, we'll be discussing investment. This is a second major component of spending. Investment spending by firms, like consumption saving decision. The decision about how much to invest depends largely on expectations about the future's economy's futures. Investment also shares in common with saving and consumption the idea of trade-off between the present and the future. In making a capital investment, the firm commits its current resources which could otherwise be used. For example, to pay to increasing its capacity to produce and earn profit in the future. Investments refer to the purchase or construction of capital goods, including residential and non-residential building. It includes equipment and software used in production, and addition to inventory stocks, right? The term we will be using a desired capital stock throughout. What is it? Uh, I The desired capital stock is the amount of capital that allows a firm to earn the largest expected profit. It is the benefit to a firm of having an additional unit of capital and marginal product of capital. You already know that marginal product of capital is the increase in output that a firm can obtain by adding unit of capital, holding other firms' workforce in the factor of production constant. The second component is the user cost of capital. Expected future benefit must be compared to the expected cost of using the extra use of capital. We will calculate user cost by using this simple. PK is the real price of capital, D is the depreciation rate, and R is the expected real interest rate. The cost of capital is sum of depreciation cost and interest cost. Interest cost is RPK, which is the depreciation cost, and the user cost is, you can also write it in this form. Let me write it over here. UC is equal to R rate of interest into price of capital plus depreciation of capital. You can write it as, R plus D take out PK as common, so you can write this equation in this manner, right? Determining the desired capital stock. How would you determine the capital stock? Desired capital stock is the capital stock that maximize profit. This is the user cost. This is expected future MPK. This is the capital stock, and this is marginal product of capital. Where it intersect, you will find the desired capital stock. When the capital stock is 5,000 cubic feet, the expected future marginal product of capital is equal to marginal user of capital, right? If MPK is larger than user cost, as it is 4,000, MPK is larger than the user cost. The benefit of extra capital exceeds the cost, and the firm should increase its capital stock. If MPK is smaller, over here, then user cost, the cost of extra capital exceed the benefit, and the firm should reduce its capital stock. Change in the desired capital stock. You can see if there is a change in fall in the real interest rate, the user cost will go down, and the desired capital stock will be increased. You can find out where the MPK is equals to user cost, right? Now, an increase in the expected future MPK raise the desired capital stock if there is a technological advancement or any other factor which can increase your marginal product of capital, the curve which leads to this curve up, and you can see that there is a change in the desired capital stock from A to D. If there is a text rate, you can find out the user cost by this formula. Future marginal product is denoted with MPK bracket 1 minus T, dividing both sides equation by 1 minus T. You can get R plus K is 2 into price divided by 1 minus tau. The user cost is called the tax adjusted cost of capital. The tax adjusted cost of capital shows how large the before tax future marginal profit of capital must be for a firm to willing add 1 unit of capital.